Yeah, they're mean to frogs. Like, I'm not gonna be, like, I don't mind, like, so I don't like the idea of eating frogs, and I wouldn't eat frogs. That's not something that I'm into at all. But I understand that they are a food source for some animals, as well as some people eat them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, in saying that, these particular entities are, are not of that ilk. So they don't get to... There's no pass for them. No pass. They don't get a pass. Do not cast go. Do not collect 200 simoleons. Oh, oh. Easier to get real chicken. That is fair. I've never eaten frog, so I don't know. But I've eaten shark. Shark is interesting flavor. It's very chewy. You've had alligator? Interesting. I don't know if I've ever had gator. I've had gopher. Because we had a friend that lived down the street, and his mother used to make the weirdest stuff. That's where I had the shark. They're like, "Well, did you like the soup?" I was like, "Yeah, it was okay." When you guess the meat, I'm like, And given where I was like, probably not. Because, I knew where I was. I've probably had gator. Maybe. It seems like something that I might have had. I don't know for sure, though. The Zeds start hiding from me. They can't hide from me though. It's pinpoint hearing. They can hear me from a mile away coming on the way, and then they come to greet me. That's what happens. And then there's an asshole in a piloting a helicopter that shows up every 6 to 9 days, or 6 to 10 days, or whatever. He just keeps showing up, bothering me. And I guarantee that he has a friend sitting in the passenger seat who sometimes climbs out onto the side of his helicopter and fuels it while he continues to follow above me, making as much noise as humanly possible. I guarantee that the meme is correct. That it is two dudes in a helicopter and they're, "Look, a survivor!" And except my two dudes got interested, and now they fly back every once in a while from their paradise, like awesome super base that's in the middle of an island somewhere that's protected. One of these days, we'll be able to shoot down that helicopter. That's gonna happen. I bet. I don't know for sure, by the way. It's just one of those things that I guarantee if it doesn't already exist, a modder will make it happen. No, don't bite me, please. I'm busy. I want to see if I can push all the way back to the gas station area, like we did just a bit ago. Don't want to be bit. Not yet. I have places to go and people to see that are not any of you. The beach chair. It's very comfortable, I promise. You just have to plug your nose. Frame rate went down a bit, which means that there is a cluster over here somewhere. Or something got rendered in. Okay, can you come over here, please? The scent of victory. Probably. Raining, it's pouring. It's not though, it's snowing, which is better than rain, I guess. I don't guarantee that I'm gonna remember this crowbar, but maybe. It has a higher chance of me remembering it because that hunting knife is there. Beside the tree, near the lake. I don't know if I'm gonna remember that in a little bit from now. Sit down. Comfy. I'm gonna go grab that knife and crowbar before I forget about it. Um, it was adjacent to the water, behind two trees. Here? I know it was just a little bit ago, but sometimes it's very hard to find this stuff. Because it's... My mind's not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about the fact that we're going to starve to death inevitably. Let's see what foraging brings tomorrow. How many... Where do they even keep coming from? These ones are actually from West Point, Muldra, or Rosewood. One of the three. I don't know which actually, because it's difficult for me to pin it down, based on the fact that there were certain like alarms and the helicopter keeps pulling them, and I can kind of trace maybe where they came from, sort of. I'm pretty sure part of them is definitely from West Point because I dragged a bunch from West Point with the helicopters, so there is a chance that it's a small portion of Muldra as well, and then also Rosewood, and then we're over by the formerly known town as Ekron, or Phallus Lake, or Kekron, depending on your or Lick Skillet. Might be Lick Skillet too. There's a bunch of names for this place, but I've been trapped here, is what it feels like, which is normal in Time 16. It's what I signed up for. And I'm enjoying it as much as there's a little bit of complaining, a little bit, because I mean, what the heck? Nah, killed 259, not bad. All right, let's go. Ooh, those are getting close. If we can just keep it going, then eventually those will produce rabbits for us. I don't want this many spears in my bag. It's too heavy. This can go there. But yeah, they what happened is all the helicopters and the town we had two house alarms total, I think. One in this town and one in like a southern area that was where when I was looking for Saw. That one happened way ages ago. The one that happened here in this town was not as long ago, but it's one of those ones that it didn't help the area at all. But now we're now at a stage where once we've killed the zombies here, this area will be safe. There won't be any zombies left here for the most part. What'll happen is we'll have to kill the ones that are stuck on the lake itself. But once that's done, there won't be any zombies left in this area until we start traveling over to West Point and Muldra. So... Oh, those cabbages are actually doing pretty good. Nice. Respawn is off, but it's set to max pop, so time 16. So it's there's a lot of zombies. The zombies that were originally in this town probably are long dead, or they left and they're coming back now. But the amount that's normally in this area is not this much, which is why I know that this is the other areas. Where is my stool? My little piano stool is still missing. I don't know where it went. Otherwise, this would be pain. Yeah, the only way you would deal with time 16 with respawns on is if one, respawns were set to like a long time, or the second thing would be if you used fire, because fire is the only way that you can really fight that level of respawn. There is yeah, you just can't. You wouldn't go anywhere. You'd be trapped in an area eternally, forever. And that's in the lighter pop areas. If you tried to go to a heavy pop area, you just get killed because they just swarm you. It doesn't matter. You could set them to the absolute slowest of shamblers, and they would still eventually get you because they just can't. You know, how are you supposed to run through a wall of zombies? It's not. Eventually, like you can get through a bit with the frames being kind of but eventually they're gonna grab you. That's how that's gonna go. This does suck, but I might actually need to eat these. So here we'll do a rest first on the beach chair, and then I'm gonna do foraging for a bit to hopefully find crops. If we can find some good crops, I will use them to make rabbits. If I find like other food like acorns and stuff, we'll eat that. There we go. I really don't want to have to eat these if I don't have to. Don't like eating bugs. It's gross. Bleh. Okay, start foraging up. But yeah. Eat the bugs. No, I don't want to eat the bugs. I saved the bugs for fishing and giving my frogs later when I catch my frogs. Because we will catch some frogs. It's inevitable. We will find frogs eventually. We could find some frogs now. It's just it's not likely actually that we'll find them right now because we're not high enough foraging level. But soon, like we're level 6, 7. Yeah, bugs are for frogs, not for people. It's not to state that I wouldn't try them in reality. Like if like I know that there's like chocolate covered crickets and stuff like that that exists. Be interesting to try. My thought is that they would be very crunchy. Was candied? That's fair. If they're not that great, I can understand. You're better off getting something else. Not good, not bad. I figured. I'm still the kind of person that would try most things once, like see if I like it. You know, you never know. You might really enjoy it. Scorpions in lollipop form sounds kind of like something that's just shaped like it. I'm sure they make sure they're safe. They wouldn't just sell poison candy. Well, maybe. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't sell poison candy. 75% sure. They were rock candies. Okay, I see. Rock candy's great. I haven't had rock candy in forever. Reminds me of saltwater taffy. I haven't had taffy in forever either. Last candy that I had was were hard candies, but they were like the caramel kind. They were pretty good. And then I had some coffee candies before that, and then before that, chocolate, and then also chocolate with Emma, which was great. So Emma was we got like the chocolate circles, which were really good, like disc chocolates. They're very thin. Oh, and we also had the I guess they're like milk chocolate, like half spheres. They were pretty good too. Yeah, there's a lot of odd confectionery, but there's it's candy is candy. It's still gonna be good probably. People love sugar. They love sugar. They love and some folks like spicy. Some folks like sour. Some folks like bitter. It does depend on the person. I have to be in the mood for certain things. Okay, I got you. You got to be in, so you've got to have a sweet tooth sort of active, kind of, in order to want sweet things. But everybody has that once in a while. I know somebody who is just constantly eating sugary things because they just love like it's their thing. And they just love to eat a bunch of it. Tisn't too bad so long as they aren't hurting themselves. They eat like what is it? Um, it's here we have Tim's, so Tim Hortons, which is sort of like a Dunkin' Donuts, or I'm not sure where you are and what donut slash coffee chains maybe Starbucks. But the they eat like what is it, 10 of the chocolate kind? Yes, I am Canadian. And then their sibling gets the birthday cake kind. And I'm not huge on donuts, but I'll eat them if they're there. A little bit. Not very much, though. Not big on sugar. I like snacks in general, though. Not like an exorbitant amount, like the average amount. Especially if I'm watching like a movie or something. Eating and watching stuff is nice. It is. It is sort of like a comfort thing, I think. This has been a relaxing little forage session that I've been doing right now. It's a nice little break from killing the zombies. Unfortunately, I'm not foraging up anything that I want. You've been to Canada a few times. It's a like good place to go. Sometimes it's just there we go. There's certain aspects of Canada that are very boring. Because it's like yeah, every place has its ups and downs. You're right. Where I live, it's working is like the big thing that everybody does. Is are always working in work mode. So it's very boring a lot of the time. And that goes for me too, though. Usually, sometimes we all get very busy. It's one of my streams does not don't have a schedule, and I don't really have a time or amount that I stream for. It's just sort of random, and I kind of can like I do a minimum of 5 hours to 7 hours when I go live usually, but sometimes it can be longer. It just depends. Like now, like so, yeah, we're at 12 hours or so. Especially if I've got a goal. Like right now, I've been trying to get back that gas station to no avail. Like I started the stream today at what? I think we were at 1,700 or 17,000, and we've killed about nearly 5,000 zombies, 4,000 something, I think, and it's still no closer. It doesn't feel like I'm getting that much closer. It feels like I'm progressing, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting closer. You know, it feels like we're in the same spot, which is normal for Time 16. And that is kind of the song and dance of Time 16. You're gonna feel like you're trapped in an area until eventually you can go anywhere in the area. Oh, there it is. Look, that's my piano stool. No, I'm taking this back. You guys leave me alone. It's mine. It's an oddly satisfying feeling. What, the zombies falling over? Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of the game. Or do you mean the sounds that of the different connects? Like so, like when the spear hits the zombie, or when the knife hits the zombie, or whatever weapon that you're using. It's really well done. Their sound design combined with the animations just make it so it's mesmerizing. I enjoy every second of it. Even from the weapons that I don't like it's still it's comfy. It's totally a Zen garden. Just relaxing, comfy, cozy, fun sounds. I really wish that they recorded the sound booth while they were doing it and that we could see the behind the scenes. That would be kind of cool. Well, thank you very much for the wellness check. I'll get a sip of my tea here in a second. Go. Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? That's kind of cool about Time 16 is, but it's not like I haven't explored like quite a bit. Like before this, getting pinned down here, we spawned in West Point, got out of West Point, traveled around all around the map looking for a saw. We've been to the West Point mansions. We got pushed out of the West Point mansions over to this area. I got pushed out of this area, and actually I doubled back because there was a lot of zombies, and I almost didn't get out of that. I was trying to kill the zombies to the river here for a while. They pushed me out of here down to here. So then I was like, okay, well, I sieged them for a couple of days, but then I had to leave here too. And then I was like, I'm going to go back here because this area, I know that they're going to have traveled over this way because of all the helicopters. So this town was pretty much empty. And then, when I moved in here, I positioned a car here. This car works. There's a generator that was on here that's probably run out of fuel by now. There's a generator that's on. I think it should be out of fuel as well here. And then there's a car that I just recently took into the town. What was it? It was a Jeep. There's no Jeep. Anyways, it was a Jeep, so I'll just do the Jeep's like here somewhere, if I had to guess. And it's still on, so the zombies might go to it if I'm nearby enough. But the thing is they've been corralling themselves mostly around here, and then I've been living out of this house for a little while now. But it's like I don't want them to push me anymore. I've been trying my very best to stand my ground at every location, but it's been hard to do because there is only a limit to how much you can stand your ground before you need to leave and go and rest. But yeah, all the stuff that's blending together is true. I mentioned it earlier, but even just something as simple as the zomboid movement animations they're so like they're so good. They're so well done. Like you get a feel for your character kind of like moving around and stuff. It's got that kind of responsiveness, you know? More permanently? It's gonna depend. And thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate. Um, so what's gonna happen is my plan is to take over West Point again. Once West Point's done with, I'll decide from there. I'll probably hit Muldra, and we'll see how bad how much we've damaged Muldra since. Because I've not done the other towns. What happened with my PB playthrough was I defeated West Point, I defeated Valley Station in the mall, and I was starting Louisville, and then I died. So this time I want to do in a different path. So we'll take. I want to take West Point first, but after we're done with West Point, Muldra next, and then maybe I'll rope around the map. I'll do March Ridge, Rosewood, and then Riverside. But by then, I'm hoping that it's gonna be like Build 42 will be out, because as soon as Build 42 is released, I'll just kill my character and we'll move on to Build 42. Because I'm very much excited to play Build 42. It's gonna be great. There's gonna be so much changes, and it's gonna be a real fun. And new crafting. I'm waiting for the optimizations and then the camping stuff. Actually, the camping stuff really interests me. For like and the archery, so voyeurism and all of that stuff. I'm gonna look forward to the new crafting, the optimization, so that when I see more than 1,000 zombies, my game doesn't decide that it's gonna be PowerPoint, because that will be kind of nice. Because right now, when I go over to this area over here, there's not that many zombies left, are there? I guess we'll find out in a second. Because I'm down to 38 frames right now, right? But that's when I zoom out. Yeah, there's still quite a lot. But before we're going to be able to get back to the gas station itself. But hmm. Oh, it doesn't take very long. It only takes a few thousand. Like, kind of. A few, like, by a few thousand, I mean, like, maybe before the game becomes really slow and chuggy. It's because of the engine itself. Like, you can't render in that many zombies. After even just 500 zombies, it starts to shade them. And the zombies themselves actually can't take movement commands after a little while. Like, direct movement commands, they can still kind of do their weird pseudo movement, but not like real. Like, they don't move anymore. Like, if you were to walk near them, they wouldn't know. Like, yeah, it becomes more of a, like, I got to see that firsthand from watching Bonsai at one point in time, because he managed to seize up quite a lot of the sprinters over in Louisville, because he had so many in the like underneath him, and they couldn't get him because he was on a ledge that was unreachable. But in the distance, you could see some of them seizing up because there was no room in the queue for their movement commands. It's interesting a little bit, though. Zomboid actually takes into account the player movement before the zombies movement. The reason why I know that's a for sure thing is because the that's probably what happens with the whole low FPS movements where the zombies go to get you and they can't. That's why it's most of the time when you die in Zomboid, it's definitely player error. There's a handful of janky bugs, but it's like most of the time it's because a player made a mistake. Because even some of the bugs, most of the bugs are known, kind of. Some of them aren't. The rare, strange interaction. What? If you have God mode, you can't die. What do you mean? I'm confused. If you're in debug and you have God mode on, you're not gonna die. What? I've never heard of that ever. If you're in God mode and you're getting munched, you don't. There's no scripted event that kills you. That's not. No, that's not true. If you're getting munched in God mode, it auto heals you. You don't get the Nox virus because you're in God mode. Your clothes will get wrecked, but that aside, you can't die. You're in God mode. Couldn't you? Would you imagine if that was actually a thing, though? An admin goes into God mode to help out some players, and then they just die from a scripted event. That would be so strange. I don't. That's not true at all, though, because I mean, yeah. For players to cheat the system. Oh, that no, people like there are definitely mods that let you cheat and stuff, but people wouldn't bother using those, would they? I mean, what? It seems so weird. You're playing a game that is based on permadeath. I guess that maybe huh. It's just it's a concept that I don't understand. But then again, I just it's weird. It's a weird concept they have. But I know there's not a scripted event that if you're in God mode, because I could load up debug right now and show you that I won't die. I'll just stay God moded in debug, and I would just be able to be munched. I could speed up time. Nothing would happen. You seem to be always surprised when you show up here. In the game's debug itself, no. And same for moderators. And actually, if people did hack or try to cheat in multiplayer, I guarantee that there's probably workarounds for it that allow the cheats to go through. But it's just kind of sad, right? Because you lose out on the whole point of it. It's just like the people who cheat in GTA Online. The whole point of it is to earn the money to get the stuff, right? If you just cheat yourself all the stuff, you don't have anything left to do but bother other players. It just nullifies the whole point of the game. That's why it gets so boring for those players so quickly, is because they've got nothing left. There's nothing left for them to conquer. Unless you make something for yourself, you know? Which they do by bothering other players, and that's the same for Zomboid, kind of. Except, I suppose some folks may cheat to look extra skilled, I guess? Maybe? But it's very easy to spot that kind of stuff. Like, if you were to show me a handful of runs like that, it's like, yeah, I could probably pick them out. Just because of certain special things, whether it involves the skill menu or the professions menu. The thing is with people who cheat is that they often don't know how the progression chain works to get to wherever they need to. Not that that's the case for all cheaters. I mean, there's a handful of cheaters out there that probably cheat and they weigh things heavily in their favor. They increase just luck, and maybe they are very skilled players, but then they also cheat on top of it. Um, for those people, you just probably wouldn't ever know. But it's most cheaters, it's very obvious, like in terms of, because like I mean, you can see in a lot of the YouTube videos. There's a lot of YouTube videos that exist that are like story based videos. They're built to make the person look kind of cool in their role play kind of thing, right? But there's a lot of YouTube videos that are just like outright, like there's no way they could do certain things. And then if you were to like look at their favorite weapon or their how fast they leveled certain skills and then compare it to their kill count, like there's certain aspects where you can see like XP gains were applied, or certain luck vary, like they maybe increased the weapon spawns or something. There very much is those kinds of things would be easy to spot, especially to people who've played for a long time. What is that mod that for the skill XP? Oh, you mean this one up here? This one's called OSRS XP or something like that. If you do an exclamation point mods, there's a mod list. But this one's old school RuneScape XP. That's what that is. It's a really nice little feature for folks. When I play with mods, I do like to include it because then people can see when I'm going to level something up, and I can see it too, which is useful. But yeah, cheaters gonna cheat. That's the long story short. Is that they're gonna cheat. So it's like it's a single player sandbox game. They're like, if you're gonna cheat, then cheat. But don't ruin other people's fun with it, and you won't. Um, it won't matter. Is what I'm saying. I don't see much point in it. Like it just it doesn't click in my brain why you would want to, because the whole point to play is to experience it. What would be the point? It needs a purpose in my head. All right. One, two, three. Here we go. Cures my hunger entirely, and all we have to do now is take an antidepressant and go to sleep. Yeah, those kinds of folks though, they get noticed by the admins. The admins of servers are not stupid people. They will notice, and if they see that person has survived a bunch of bites and stuff, like they have a bunch of bites, I guarantee that there's admins out there that will just wander over to that player and drop a horde on them. And then when they try to use their cheats to survive it, they'll just kick them. At least that's how I would do it if I were like noticed it. That, or I would, like they would. I'd talk to the person maybe. Be like, what the heck? Why are you bit and somehow surviving? I survived with the 1% odd. That does not exist. I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I like that the player base as a whole is getting better, though. Like you can definitely see that the PZ community is improving on a as a whole. Like the whole thing is improving. Everybody's improving, getting surviving longer. Personal bests are getting better. Like you know, it's clicking. How to do to play the game, and the people are having fun with it. Whether they want to do their base building or whatever they want to do. It's really cool to see because everybody has their own sort of style, and you get to see the varying styles of the PZ community. And pretty soon we're going to have even more palettes to work with. More base styles are going to emerge. Some people are going to want to do like vagrant playthroughs where they, or vagabonds. Like they, some folks are going to want to like make a castle. Like that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to all of that stuff. Oh yeah, once you get past the first winter, that's it. You usually before then, if you could have managed it, um, but it depends sometimes on the playthrough, and, what you're doing and etc. There's certain aspects of a playthrough that can kind of slow you down. But that said, yeah, I agree that it depends on like it gets fairly easier the longer you survive. So if you survive like a ridiculously long time, well, it's only going to get easier and more because you're going to get more skills. Your character's going to be better, stronger, faster. Are guns worth using? Not to kill stuff. Guns are think of guns like like a noisemaker, or it depends on the pop setting, of course. Like on a lower pop setting, I mean they're okay, but you're not gonna really be good at shooting them unless you took like if you're like a police officer or veteran or your character's not gonna be that good with them. So you have to take time to level them. Leveling up aiming requires shotgun's the most effective, and then killing lots of zombies with it. And then from there it's but they're just noisemakers for the most part. On default apocalypse, for example, they're not going to be that bad to have. Like they're okay. You can use them to pull in zombies from a fair distance. But yeah, as weapons, they're not really weapons. They're good for clearing off sort of more dangerous areas. Like I don't have a I don't have a clip of it, but I kind of wish that I did have a clip of it because it's cool. Um, but zombie bombs, which are when the zombies are banging against windows, that's the best use of guns, in my opinion. Is when the zombies are banging against windows to kill them. When there's a lot of them bunched up on the windows, especially the indestructible windows at like the prison or um, at the mall. Because sometimes what happens with it is they will bang on the windows, and then if you go out of render distance, then they'll kind of all group up on that window and just keep continuing. And then there's no limit, kind of. But if you go a little bit too close to that window, they all realize they're not supposed to be in the same square, and they turn to attack you. But then they all fan out, and it's really cool. But yeah, long story short, guns are objectively noisemakers. Good to kill a handful of zombies, but not good to kill lots. And then the only gun that's really worth leveling with is the shotgun. Yeah, they're useful tools. They're okay, but they're not. I wouldn't. Hey, look, another katana! Yay! Another katana. I'm rewarded. The game's being nice to me. Why am I up here again? I don't actually know why I'm up here. But I found a katana, so that's positive. I think I wandered up here looking for stuff to forage. Getting no work done? Yeah, so definitely you go get your work done. Off you go. Don't stay here if you're going to procrastinate. I don't like when people procrastinate on my like because I'm around. It's not fair. Don't procrastinate. Go do your work. You can always play PZ later. PZ's sitting there waiting for when you're done your work. Finish your work first, then you can come play. It's quite addicting though, this game. You've only ever seen one katana? We've seen I don't know how many. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 katanas so far. And this is the 8th. I mark katanas with little hearts and then I drop them on the ground where they die. At least I started doing that a little while ago actually. I was like I wanted to mark them, and also making a katana shrine requires you to bring the katanas back, which I do like doing sometimes. And I've made one katana shrine before, um, but yeah, I was like I'm not hauling them all the way back. If they're not broken, I'll keep them. But it's like if I decide to use them on a whim, I'm going to just drop them wherever they are, and they can rest on the ground there. Job well done. It's also about a bit about location with the katanas. The katanas you'll find very frequently on like highways. Apparently, this area is very katana rich. I did not know that, but I know that this area over here in West Point is very good for katanas. Um, I've seen katanas in Valley Station, mostly along this stretch here, actually. But also Muldra. I've seen them like along the Muldra Strip. So it seems like highways and then maybe back roads sometimes. Sometimes back roads. I don't know. Strange. The large backpack though isn't special. Like you can find those everywhere. I used to think they were special though. And then I started receiving one, and at every single playthrough, and it's like, I guess maybe they aren't that special. It's because the survivor group seems to spawn very frequently in the areas that I frequent. So I'll usually run into at least one or two of them. It'd be interesting to go back and like look at the game through fresh eyes, and I've had that opportunity kind of through a few friends that started playing the game brand new. Definitely interesting. There's lots and lots to this game. It's a wide pool. Not a very deep pool, but a wide pool. I'm hoping we find food because, like, I'm. If we could find food, like, I mean, I could change focus to crops, and that would increase my likelihood of finding like veg and stuff. They're essentially seat bags. Yeah, I feel the same way. They're useful in like early in the playthrough, but and they're good to have to like store a bunch of stuff, like in like loot, like pile loot into a bag and then sort of. And it's nice having one. Like when they're like luxuries, they're nice to have. Not necessary. Not necessary. Ah, so you don't really go along highways and stuff. I noticed that a while ago, and then Rhett was doing like tests on it as well, and we were both kind of chatting about it because it's like the most that I've ever seen is 11. That's the most I've ever seen in like a single like. So today we've actually seen how many have we seen today? I think we've seen 5 today because 4 of these ones, and then the one I just found, right? But yeah, they're not too common in the towns usually. I mean, maybe they are. I mean, that technically was in West Point, that road. I don't know. It's one of those things that's weird. I don't have any like definitive proof aside from just my playthrough, and that's about it. Like the playthroughs that I've had, that's about it though. And I've by no means got the record for most katanas found for sure. I guarantee it's got to be like probably Karumi. Karumi's probably got the record for that. Given that Kurumi's run is still active, I think, but it's shelved. I think Kurumi shelved her run. Put it on a podium. And then streamed, it's probably Lamprey. I know Lamprey had like 100 and something katanas. Actually, wait, maybe Twist had as much too. Twist had a lot of katanas. Oh my god, now that I'm thinking about it. I It might have been Twist. Twist on fire. He's a German streamer. He's really cool. I think he might have had the katana. Like maybe. But then Lamprey's run went longer. Hmm. But his run is still on, so it's one of those 50-50 things. It could be one or the other. It doesn't really matter. It's like just a statistic. Like I just find that fascinating. I like collecting data numbers like that. It's fun. It's part of why I started the scoreboard in the first place. It was, well, kind of. The real reason was because it was actually not my scoreboard to start, and then I just kind of carried it on. It was Lamprey's scoreboard to start as a for fun thing, but nobody turned any runs into him. I don't know why. I turned in runs to him, but I was the only one, and people would give me their runs to turn into him. So it was just sort of one of those weird situations where it's like I'm the only one that was toting the flag. And then eventually, ooh, carrots, heck yes. Okay. Oh yeah, they're really good at balancing everything. And that's why you got them to Warframe. Interesting. Warframe's a game that my partner plays all the time. Absolutely loves that game. And my partner is just getting into the trading systems and making whatever the premium currency is and stuff like that, which is neat. Also, my partner plays a lot of Monster Hunter Rise as well as a bunch of other cool games. And then I get to watch her play lots of like Yakuza and story games, and it's really cool. How big is this carrot? It's a small carrot, but it's a carrot nonetheless. We're gonna have rabbit zombie. Not for you. Well, rabbit. Just one. Singular. But yeah, Warframe's a good game. There's parts of Warframe that frustrate me to no end, though. As someone who plays Warframe for a long time, you can understand what I mean, right? Without going into spoilers, of course, just in case there are people that want to play that game and see the special thing that happens later. I very much do like that special thing that happens later. I think it's cool, and I like the other character. I think the other character's cool. That's my favorite. My favorite character, if you can catch my drift. But the that character is my favorite to play as. I like more than any Warframe. But yeah, there's a lot of parts of Warframe this that just there's it just yeah it's just but yeah one of the things that kind of was annoying me a lot of the time was the Lotus was annoying me, which I know that a lot of folks really like Lotus and such, but it's just she was annoying me very much. I do have it installed though, and I probably will play it again with Emma at some point in the future because it is one of those games that Emma just is passionate about. So thankfully, I don't have to deal with the Lotus anymore. I chose M person. You're wanting to do more stuff. That's fair. My character that I used to play as, or sorry, the Warframe that I spent the most time on was Octavia, and I really liked that Warframe. I thought it was cool. I like the fact that you can make music with with that character, and it's really neat. I did. I didn't do any of my own songs yet. I was just copying kind of a couple songs that I enjoyed, and then I was like, okay, but I do intend if I actually do play again to probably try and make some of my own songs, because that's one of the things that I can do is I can make music. I don't get that to do that very often though. I'm kind of bad at it now, probably because I haven't really done anything in a long time. Uncooked, 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 uncooked. Pizza. Yeah, mostly. It's different skill sets and stuff, and once you've mastered most of the broad aspects of the game, it becomes very simple. It's a very simple game. It's basically just fundamentals for the most part. It's positional based combat, looting, take care of your sim, etc. Manage your weight properly. Struggling. But it is how it is. Thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, they both have that kind of style to it. Oh, you guys' follows triggered a helicopter. Not really, but I mean, it feels like it. Great. I'm not ready for this one. I was distracted, and now I'm actually in the little house that when it starts, which is not good. That's weird. It's kind of cool. Hello. We had two in July. Interesting. This sucks. I don't want to be where I am. It's bad to be where I am because do we have enough? I mean, I have a katana and three hunting knives. If he only stays for an hour, it's not as bad. But if he stays for the full 3 to 4 hours, it's gonna suck. I have to hope that he didn't fuel his helicopter. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Can I make it? Whew, thank goodness we made it. I think. I mean, it's hard to tell yet, but yeah, director's being mean. Throws just a random. It's a normal day in the Sims. Haven't you played this version of The Sims? It's great. No paid DLC. No expansions. Just Sims. In fairness, though, I did really like some of the expansions. Before EA got greedy. And they've got some really good composers, like that remix quite a lot of really good classical music. So, you know, credit where credit is due. No, no. Dropping down to 10 FPS kind of sucks. Oh. Shit. Bad call. Bad call. Bad call. Should not have done that. Bad call. If it wasn't for the fact that I knew this car was here, I would have been dead. Oh my god. I could have died there. That was a bad call. Don't do that. I knew that that was a dead end, and that that was potential death. And he's still coming around for another go. Yeah, bad call, silly mistakes. It's because I'm trying to loop them in this particular area and hold them here as best I can, but it's hard because there's quite a few of them still. And he's doing the full circuit too, which is so annoying. You can't just, leave me alone. You gotta do the entire circuit and bother me the entire time. But I knew this car was here so that we could use it for, because most of the zombies would be attracted to that car. So less would be against the fence. Not that none. It was never going to be none though, and I knew that. I should have looped the other way, around. But I knew that the frames were dropping down to like 10 and 9, so it definitely was pretty bad. You do miss out on a lot of loot that way. Like, imagine all the katanas that get burned. But like, it's not the worst. Could be worse. Fire is the best weapon for a reason. Yeah, Zed loot would be like if you're doing burns, you're only going to get a fraction of whatever loot was on the Zeds. Not just like katanas either, like hunting knives, axes, crowbars, baseball bats, large backpacks, um, you know, nails, ammo that you would never ever have gotten because it's all in shotguns, and like majority of the ammo that you'll build up will be in shotguns. And away we go. So, in fairness, here in just a bit, I'm gonna probably wrap up there. As soon as we get back to the house, I'll wrap up and I'll raid somebody because I'm gonna need a break after that one. That was too much. I made a bad call, like it's not just one bad call. I made several bad calls in a row, and we lived because of something I did earlier. Thank goodness that the past me is reckless with cars and decided to use that car as a lure and put it away. And present me is very thankful for past me's mistakes. I get to live another day. We only killed 45, but it feels like we survived a fairly tough helicopter. Um, so tough that I actually will give it a little extra marking. What mark do I want to give you? Do I have a radioactive symbol? I think I should. All right, we're gonna carry on next time. But yeah, there's gonna be another helicopter later. But yeah, and there's going to be residual after this, but it's fine. Tomorrow me can deal with it. We've done enough for now. Plus, I want to go get some dinner. So there we go. Alrighty, it's been my pleasure as always, everybody. I am going to host somebody. I'm not sure whom yet, but I will figure it out here in just a moment. It's been my pleasure. It was fun. Let's see. I know where I'm gonna go. We're gonna go see hi to Corndock because he's doing a similar challenge to me right now. So we'll do. There we are. You guys can go say hi to Corndock. Ta ta for now.